Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? How'd everybody sleep? I just want to brag and boast a little bit because Rex Crane actually threw this back at me this morning. I had a high aura score last night. So, for all you guys who have been following that I haven't slept for 2 weeks, I think I figured it out. I think it's the herbs that I've been taking that actually has been keeping me up. So, I did take melatonin last night and I slept. So, I'm ready to rock and roll. Who else had a good night's sleep last night? Good morning, Denise, Lindsay, Cassandra, Vicky. Good morning. Good morning. Sherry did well. Thank you so much. Sherry did well. Awesome. You got it. You're not on the thing. Cool. Okay. So we have a winner from yesterday that I'm going to give a trip to Hawaii or Mexico to. So let me share something with you before you guys pull this up. Okay. I honestly can tell you showing up is most of the battle. And I know you've heard that before, but I think that people don't realize it. I shared a story that my friend Joe DeSena who owns Spartan Races. Did anybody know the brand Spartan Races? Anybody know that? They're like the Tough Mudder. He'd kill me if you heard me say that, but Spartan Races. Well, Joe was in a race and he was so far off in left field that he thought, you know what, I should just quit. And he said to himself, no, I'm going to finish the race for me. And so he finished the race and he was first or second in the race. I can't remember. The point is that there were all these other people who gave up and they were already packing up the finish line and he still finished for him. You guys, have you noticed that the people in your life have a lack of urgency right now? Anybody, go in the chat and let me know. Right? Trina, right? You guys go in the chat and let me know. Yeah, some of you guys are seeing it. Think about this for a second. Like, really just be with me for a second, because who you spend your time with actually seeps into you. Now, the good news is you can change the direction. You can create a U-turn in the different directions in your relationships, in your scheduling, in your cash flow, all of it. You can create a U-turn, but not if you feel like you have to just grind it out. You have to catch this next vision that takes you above. So in other words, there was a time, some of you guys might know this, there was a time that I broke up with my husband 17 times in one day. I'm not proud of that at all, but I broke up with him 17 times in one day because I didn't have a vision that was higher than being right about him being so wrong. Am I by myself right now? Right? Anybody else have any relationship challenges? Put R in the comment section. Put R if you've ever been in a relationship. Everybody should be putting R if they've ever been in a relationship challenge. If you don't put an R, then I just think we have an integrity issue, because everybody's had a relationship challenge. And it comes down to not having a vision that's bigger than who's right or who's wrong, right? And so I want to share something with you, because when we're done the challenge, right? So this is all about creating the U-turns. Where is your ladder up against a wall that it shouldn't be? Where are you holding on to needing to be right around something that it's time to just let go and get back to work? Where do you need to take responsibility for your life and know your authority to be able to speak about something or speak to somebody and lift a result to a higher level? Let's just be honest. You guys know what that is right now? Where is that in your life right now? Now, know this. There is some energy out there right now that is grounding people's urgency. And you got to fight against it, which means that you get up and you go to the gym, which means that if you said you're going to walk today, you go walk today. My friend Jesse Itzler, does anybody know Jesse Itzler? Yes, no, maybe so. Any of you guys? So Jesse Itzler is married to Sarah Blakely with Spanx. And I loved a post Jesse did the other day, because he said he stopped. This is a U-turn moment. He's got 4 kids, and he would set these goals for working out. Like, I'm going to run 5 miles a day. Yes, he's insane. And so some of you got, who are my runners out there? Put run. Who are my runners out there? He said he would run 5 miles a day. And what he found was, with his kids, there were always, fires to be put out or new practices to go to or something that was added in. I have enough challenge with one, keeping up with his Kumon and all these things, but he's got 4. Right? And so he said, setting goals for the week that he would work out he would run 5 miles a day didn't work. So what did he do? He pivoted, which is just a U-turn. The faster you can pivot, the more successful you're going to be this year. Period. If you think, oh my gosh, Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone did a challenge the same week. So what? They're not worried about somebody else launching on the same week. So that's for all you guys who are like, oh my gosh, is it the right time? Time is leadership. It's time to flip the switch. It's time to turn the lights on. It's time to put yourself in a position where your power's on, where you don't back down. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Urgency is going to be the thing that you're going to fight against right now. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because the third week of January is when people start to realize their old patterns are coming into this year and they lose their steam. This happens year after year after year. It's unbelievable how many people are operating in the thinking that you think it's just you. It's not, but you can break out. In order to break out, you've got to up the urgency of following up in your life on the things that you said that you were going to do. You guys hear me? Yes? Okay, so let's pop up the winner because this woman followed through. Pop her up. Can we pop her up, our winner? Awesome. So you guys see that? So Tanisha Baker, wherever you are, girl, Tanisha Baker, wherever you are, wanted to let you know that we are going to bless you with a trip to Hawaii and Mexico. We saw you. We love that not only did you go after winning for yourself and did the homework last night, but you also helped other people. You also honored Rex. You honored the company. You honored what we're up here doing. You were honorable. And when you honor other people, people honor you back. Okay, so Tanisha, we got you, and Suzanne, the team Faith, will get a hold of you. And you go to Mexico, Hawaii on us. So I hope you have a great time, and definitely send a picture or tag me online and say, here I am. I'd love to know where you pick. All right, you guys, cool. Okay, so let's set you up for today. You guys ready? I feel like I need a drum roll. Okay, so here's my drum roll for you. I want you to think right now, and I want you to ground so that you don't just passively listen. Can I get an agreement? We're not going to passively listen. If you're on social media right now, I'm going to recommend that you share this live. Share the live. If you're on social media right now, share this live. I always look, who are my people like Tanisha, who just won the trip to Mexico and Hawaii? Who are the people who are sharing this? Because you want to see other people win. So I say this all the time, Rex, you've actually never heard me say this, but I've been saying this recently a lot, that a lot of people don't get access to having a friend like you in their life. And so because they don't have that access, they don't have somebody to pour into them where stuff starts to break off them. And when you speak, I remember before I even knew you and I'd watch you speak in an auditorium, I would start to set like, what is the goal I'm going to go after? Whether it was, I'm going to have a better marriage, I'm going to be an extraordinary mom, I'm going to tackle something in hardcore business that maybe is like pulling my energy because I really want to do it, but I'm not giving it its attention. You guys hear what I'm saying? Like, you guys got one of those? It's like, you really want to write that book. You really want to launch that course. You really want to become a millionaire. You really want to see what that next level of life looks like. And so I'd put that in front of me with intention. And when you were done speaking, I'd go to work, right? Didn't matter if it was Sunday, Saturday, Tuesday, didn't matter, because it was a privilege to go to work and to love to work on whatever it was, whether it's a relationship, parenting, business, family, whatever. It was an honor and a privilege to have that type of responsibility to flip that switch inside of me to go after it. So no longer was it a drag. I'd listen to you speak and I'd be like, it's a responsibility, and I would be fired up. So you guys, not everybody has a Rex Crane in your life, but you have them in your life right now. I'm going to recommend you re-listen to this training 3 or 4 times. If you're in VIP in the inner circle, you're going to get this. We're going to package it up, and it's going to be beautiful and in a home study program for you. But everybody else, we will start to take these recordings down offline. Okay. And the reason why we do that is because we want to keep urgency in people, right? We want you showing up. We don't want you sitting and watching the replay. Life is not about replays. And I get if somebody's a doctor or a nurse and you're in the operating room, but if you're not, and you're just like, I just got 12 kids, not saying that that's not hard, but I'm saying, why wouldn't you put your 12 kids in a room to listen? He doesn't swear, so that's a good thing, right? So it's like, that's what I'm saying, like, solve the problem. Jesse Itzler solved the problem of, I'm not going to work out five miles a day because that doesn't work. So I'm going to do 35 miles a week. Do you see how he made that pivot? He still stays on the target, Grant Cardone talks about targets. I have a target. Everybody should have a target. So I want you to have a target for this call, this training, this live. I want you to write that down right now. And here's what I'm going to ask my team to do. I'm not looking for yay in the comment section. I'm looking for mic drops. What is changing in your life because you're listening to this training? The reason why I need that is because I'm going to take that information and I'm going to go and I'm going to help more people with it because I want to see what breaks off you. So for you guys who are in business, I watch the comments because I want to see how this is impacting. So what I'm going to ask you, Suzanne and Faith and Sam and Christopher to do is I want you to bless people with gift cards today. I want you to bless them with prepaid visas today. So I'm looking for mic drops. We're looking on YouTube. We're looking in the Facebook group. We're looking in the Hardcore Business Facebook page. We're looking everywhere for the mic drops. So whenever Rex is talking, whatever you feel that just shifted in you, talk about it. It's a contribution. When you do that, it's like all of a sudden Sherry or Carla or Tom or Bob or Sarah will look at it and they'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, I didn't see that. Thank you for making that comment. And when you make that comment, somebody else is going to open. That's the law of reciprocity that will continue to expand. That hits the self-worth game, which comes down to your authority. And I'll say this as I bring Rex up. If you don't know your authority, you cannot make a good decision. If you don't know your authority, you cannot make a good decision. My hope for you is that you get your authority in the next hour as you're listening to Rex and that you apply it to something that's meaningful. All right, you guys, everybody light up the chat. Say Rex Crane, Rex Crane, Rex Crane, and bring them up. Rex Crane.
Good
Awesome.
to see you. Good
So
morning. Good morning,
So good.
everybody. How are you? Welcome to U-Turn Day 3. How many of you feeling really good out there? Come on, by a show of hands. Come on, show me some energy. Come on, be alive in your life. Come on, we're in 2023. It's amazing. We made it. We made it through so much over the last couple of years. And we're all here. Look at all you beautiful faces for a minute. Hey, write something in the chat what you're grateful for just for a minute before we even get going. What are you grateful for today? Put yourself in a really good state of mind, a really great state of heart. I know that usually when you become very, very grateful, things happen. Number one, fear begins to go. Anger, frustration shifts and it gets out of your mindset. And you're in a much better place to receive today because today's going to be a life-changing day. You're going to rise today. You're going to break cycles today because this is a season for you to elevate. When the world is being dragged down, just as Shanda was saying, this is a season for you to elevate at another level. So go in the chat real quickly. Write what you're thankful for. Write what you're grateful for just real quickly. Come on, grateful for my family, my children. Come on, all you people. Come on, show me some energy this morning. Wherever you may be in the world. I love it. Thank you for God's grace, opportunities to beginning in a community committee. I love it. Come on. I love this. Well, today you're not going to like it. You're going to love this. And this is going to push you today. It's going to challenge you today. I've had the incredible opportunity, 48 countries over the last 25 years. And I've had the opportunity to be in businesses and boardrooms, the Pentagon, the FBI, to working with the President of the United States on a project, to working with senators, to people that are in other countries and businesses, small businesses. Currently work for a number of businesses, a consultant for billion-dollar corporations, as well as corporations that are just getting off the ground. And I love working with entrepreneurs, people that have an idea that doesn't hope to exist, but it has to exist. And they know it's bigger than them, and so they have to grow into it. You're here today, and you deserve so much a round of applause, so much kudos from us and Shanda, myself, just because you're willing to show up and become the kind of person that's able to turn that dream, that idea, that vision into reality. You're not here for just more self-help. You're not just here for more pop psychology. You're here to get ideas, instruction, insights, revelation that will bring conviction into your soul to move you in a powerful way. It's going to cause you to break out of things today and step into new things today. And I don't know if you're looking to break out. If you're looking to break out, right, I need to break out, whether that's out of debt, that's out of an emotional pattern that you're in that keeps hemorrhaging in your life and causing you to live stuck on the inside, or maybe you're looking to break into something. You're looking to break into a new market, break into a new financial space, maybe break into a new relationship, and you want the right people to show up in your life. Come on, I know 64% of Americans, I can say, have not had a date in the last 5 years. Somebody's a little bit ready to have, come on, some type of a connection out there. So maybe you need to write, that's what I want to break into. I want to start today by saying this story, and it came to me this morning as we were thinking about it. Shannon and I were talking about Elevate. That in times of challenge, in times of stress, in times of crisis, in times of uncertainty politically, financially in the world, there's people that rise. There's people that elevate. There's people that demand something and they explode beyond the conditions financially, emotionally, and relationally. I know we're tended to watch so many people do this, whether it's on Shark Tank or watching an athlete do it or watching other people, and we think, wow, they're just lucky. They're more talented than I. They're more skilled than I. They know the right people. They come from a background, and I would say absolutely that's not true. Having been able to coach and speak to over millions of people now in my lifetime, I could say that that's absolutely not true. Usually the people have it all at their fingertips. They end up chemically addicted. They end up lazy, they loaf, they let life happen. They think they're entitled. But people that elevate, people that rise are usually people that get to a place where they become dissatisfied with where they are. And their intolerance of their present gives them access to create a future. Let me say that again. Their intolerance, where they get to a point where I'm tired of being this way. I'm tired of being overweight. I'm tired of being in a relationship where there's no passion. I'm tired of working hard, but maybe I'm not building the right thing and I'm frustrated here, but I got to do something. It's in me to do. At that moment, something happens. Something breaks off and shifts. I remember years ago, 1953, I read the story of Edmund Hillary, first gentleman ever to climb Mount Everest. Huge insurmountable odds that they said would be impossible for everybody to achieve. And yet he tried many, many unsuccessful times. He came down the mountain one day and he began to yell up the mountain, and his climbing partner, Tanzing, said, "Do you realize you're talking to a mountain?" He goes, "I do." He goes, "Let me just continue on." So he said, "Everest, I got a message for you today. I got a word for you today. You can't get any bigger. You defeated me today. You beat me today, but I got a word for you. I got news for you. You can't get any bigger, but I can and I will. I can and I will." He did something powerful. You need to write that in the chat. You say, "I can and I will." I don't know what mountain you're trying to scale today. Maybe you're trying to go from a 5-figure business to a 6-figure business. Maybe from a 6-figure business to a 7-figure business. Come on, more money, more problems. Come on, money, more problems. Maybe from a 7 to an 8-figure. Maybe you're trying to build a family. Come on, and you're a single parent. Come on, so much respect for you, by the way. Whatever that is, whatever mountain that you're facing today, maybe it's a depression that you felt, and you've had post-traumatic, syndrome of just stress on you, and it's caused so much depression. You're about to shift today in the next 30 minutes, and you're about to go out of a place of stress into a great place of strength where that anxiety is going to lift off you, and you're going to have post-traumatic success. You're not going to get stuck in that one place. So whatever that mountain is today, I want you to say, "I can and I will." Come on, say it even out loud if you can do it wherever you are. Someone say, "I can and I will." How many know 85% of the emotions you feel are based upon the words that you consistently use? We got to change your vocabulary. We change your life. Come on, words can start wars or they can end wars. Come on, words can cause depression. They can cause peace. Come on, use your own voice for a minute. Say, "I can and I will." It was amazing. Edmund Hillary made a couple small shifts in the way that he breathed and the way that he climbed. And he went from a place of not being able to scale in a couple small shifts. See, it doesn't take a lot of ideas today to change your life. If you were on Monday, it was a day-breaking thing just to raise your standard and the level of vision of what you would create, what you would challenge, and what you would maybe bring cure to in your life. Yesterday was a phenomenal day on an injection of cash flow, and you're looking to be able to scale your business. I encourage you to go back. Don't let that thing just slip by. There's a reason Grant Cardone, there's a reason why Tony Robbins, there's a reason why people in the world that are really have great influential insight, they want to bring Shanda in because of her insight to scale and bring structure around business. It's one thing to have a purpose. It's another thing to have a procedure. Come on, there could be a lot of doctors that have a great purpose to do a surgery. I want to know how well they do a procedure. And what Shanda is a financial deliverer, and we've teamed on this, and you're going to get something great today. By the way, we have a marketing thing we're going to bring to you that's going to really help your business scale. But if you're to scale, it just takes a couple small shifts. because it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Oh my gosh. And look at social media and you think all of that's real when it's really not. And you start to look at things and go, I'm overwhelmed by what I have to do. No, today I want you to look for the 1 or 2 insights that are going to allow you to take massive action, but they are going to allow you to create momentum. And if you got momentum, it will accelerate the pace of it. I love what Shanda says, money, intimacy, they move at a rate of speed. Come on. How many know money and love, they love speed? When I first met my wife, I was into her. It was freaking on. Come on. It wasn't like, let's date for a year. Let's see. Let's try other things. No, it was, I want you. Let's go. Come on. I don't need to think about it anymore. I know in my heart, you're the one for me. Let's rock this thing. I want to show up strong for you. Relationships and intimacy, money. And we're going to touch you today in a way that's going to be able to help your life, breaking the cycles, I think, that hold you back the most as you go to elevate and you go to scale. Number 1 today, I want to deal with your business. Come on. So write in that thing, your business. Your business, whatever your business is, write in the chat, what is your business? Come on. And it can be an idea. What do people come to you for? The problem you solve is a problem you live rewarded for. Come on. You want more rewards, solve more problems. And I write that because what do people come to you for? What is your business? What do you deliver? And we're going to stop here for a minute and park, and we're going to think about it. I've had the opportunity to work with businesses that have scaled even over the last couple of years from a $1.9 billion to a $5.3 billion business. And I coach with them. I'll coach them later today, one-on-one with the whole directors of that whole entire group. I've been able to be there with Jeff Hoffman, the CEO of Priceline, when they were not Priceline. I forget the name of it, but back years ago, they were trying to sell groceries and gasoline online, and then they shifted it because they found that the product that they served was limited in what they could deliver, and they found a better way to deliver to people with travel, and they created Priceline, which now is everywhere. Come on, you all know that. And then I start to look at different companies from people I work with. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was made as a headache medication, but they found that it brought so many people joy when they drank it that they said, let's shift and let's pivot it and let's turn it into a beverage that people can enjoy and they get joy out of. How many know that it's no longer just a headache? Come on, it's now a beverage that people enjoy. They're going to enjoy it in the Super Bowl. Just as Viagra started out as a heart condition medicine, but then they found some other components that made things move and excited. And as a result, they turned it into an incredible product that serves a lot of people across the world. I think your one idea today, one shift from making your profits so much greater and your influence so much more impactful. And I want to start here today because I think business is very, very, it's at the heart of what we do, right? You are gifted, you're talented, you're skilled, and to be effective in business and effective get your idea off the ground or to scale it, I got to understand, well, what business am I really, really in? What business am I in? I remember working with a woman who was a madam. She ran a prostitution ring, and she came to hear me, and she said, when I was listening to you, I felt like this cleansing happened in my soul, and I don't think I want to do that anymore. She goes, I run a really, really big prostitution ring. She goes, and I wanted to end my life because of the misery of men. But I said, well, you don't have to change everything about you, but let's pivot here for a little bit to something that's going to be a lot more rewarding for you. And she said, I go, what business are you in? She says, well, I deliver an experience to people. I'm in the delivery business. And I go, well, what if we shifted from delivering what you're delivering as a madam running a prostitution ring? What if we deliver a different kind of experience? And she shifted it to where she would be able to take people and transport them on vehicles to go through wine tastings and all kinds of. And now she has one of the biggest businesses on the planet. She just had a small shift in the identity of what her business was and what it could do. And this is where I want to start today, is the strategy of your business. Let's talk that for a minute. When you got the right strategy, you got the right recipe.
I'm sorry, can I jump in?
Jump in for a minute. Come on.
2 seconds. That was a big nugget you just dropped there, you guys. Sorry to jump in.
No, it's okay. This is what we do together. So this is awesome.
But like if you have something that you're working on right now that you know you got the ladder up against the wrong wall. I mean, for someone to be a madam, that is the wrong wall. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of times, like that's a bit, I don't want anybody to miss that moment because There are people out there right now that are you're working for money because you think that's what will make money. I see it all the time. I see people create businesses and they're like, this is what people will pay for. That's like being a madam. It really is. And
Wow.
it doesn't
Wow.
connect to a scale. It won't scale. Kevin Harrington said to me, don't look for good deals. That's like looking for money. It's a good deal. Look for fair deals because fair deals scale. So if you want to be in business for a long time, you want to use this recession to go to the next level, really stop and check your heart. Are you in the right atmosphere? Are you in the right message? Because that was a big mic drop there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what happens is when someone sees like, hey, I deliver this, when someone knows their deliverables, now they have a brand.
Yeah.
They might not be a notable brand, but when you understand what do people come to you for? Jeff Hoffman, the creator of CEO of Priceline, he said this, and we were talking, he goes, what do people come to you for? When when you understand what people come to you for, you now have a brand to really build around. Like if you look at your life, what do people come to you for? Yeah, because identity is everything, right? It guides all your decision making. It guides, you only act like the person you think you are.
That's huge. That's huge too. I'll get out of your guys' space, but
That's powerful.
Didn't want you to miss that because I'm like,
I love it. Come
take
on.
that in.
I love it. So we're talking about the idea of having the right strategy. When you have the right strategy, nothing's out of reach. You can lose the weight for good. You can build an intimate relationship. You can scale the business. You can become more valuable. You can become more profitable. And if you start to look at the people over that we know in our lifetime, little decisions about changing their strategy really perfected their business and let it get wings. I remember Orville and Wilbur, who created the airplane, and the Wright brothers. They did something powerful. They moved from Ohio, they moved to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, because they had wind there that would come off the ocean. They positioned themselves and their business, their idea in a traction where it would generate more wind. And that little strategy allowed them to get off the air where they were constantly frustrated, being in a limited space, keep doing the same thing. Come on. I believe in being committed to your outcome, but I also believe in being flexible in the approach. I mean, someone needs to write that. You get really frustrated if something doesn't work out. Don't bail on the idea. Come on, just change their approach to what you do. These gentlemen, they switched that strategy, and at that strategy allowed them to get off the ground. And that's what I want to go here a little bit today. I want you to think about for a minute, who is, and Shanda brought this up a little bit, but who is your ideal client? I want you to write that down for a minute. Who is your ideal client? Who is the people that you want to serve the most? What is that for you? Who are those people? Are they hurting people? Are they people in relationships? Becoming clear about the people you're called to serve, the people that you're called to make life easier for, because that's what business owners do, right? People that own businesses, our goal is to make life richer, better, happier, healthier, more enjoyable, to remove stress from people's lives, to make life more juicy. When you think like that, you're not like an operator in your business. You are an owner. It's a different strategy. I want you to think about that. And I want you to think about, what do people come to you for? What is the expertise that people come to you for? And if you start to look down that kind of a pathway for a minute, what is the specific problem that you solve for them? I want you to write that in the chat. What is the problem that you solve? What is the problem that you solve? They come to you because you solve this problem. And for some people, be like, I'm not sure what that problem is. Yeah, I'm not sure what I solve yet. Other people like, I know what that is. Well, start looking at your life. Like, what's the gift, the skill, the ability, the talent that you would like to use to serve people and enrich people? And let's build a reality around that, because your gift will make room for you. Even the scripture says, don't neglect the gift that's in you. Come on, you have a gift. Someone say, I got a gift. Even if it's not very apparent yet, I have a gift. The fact that you're breathing is evidence that the Creator knows the earth needs something you have right now. There's something that you possess that can better people, improve people, increase people. Become aware of that for a minute. Become aware of the idea. You do have a gift. Notice if you were to ask you a question like, oh, okay, what's the gift or what's the ability I want to serve people with? How would I serve them? How would I increase life for them? I love to go down that kind of a train of thought, because it gives you a vision of your personal brand, your personal identity, and your deliverables. I love that you are qualified and empowered to deliver.
And when you have a right strategy for what you're going to go towards, and maybe just to help you with strategy, some of you business owners that already have a business, start to look upon what are trends you could capitalize on right now. What's emerging trends around you? What are people buying? Pay attention, be a student of your business. Are there trends that people are investing in and looking at and buying more of or less of? Okay, if you pay attention to trends, you can jump on that wave and ride that wave for a long time. Come on, how many know business comes in waves? You can sit there and wait and go, well, let's just see what happens with the economy. You can't afford to do that with your economy. Because wealth is a state of mind. It's built on your psychology and having a vision for how I'm going to serve people, improve people, and then we'll be able to create a structure and a marketing thing around this with Shanda to be able to help you to put you into a structure that will facilitate greater output, greater outcomes. Come on. But what are trends right now? Well, if I said one at the beginning, I think 61% of Americans, according to Harvard Psychology right now, say they're lonely. Could your business service a lot of people that are looking, come on, for companionship, connection? They're tired of being isolated. They're afraid. They've been polarized. If he is, you qualifies you to be a deliverer. Come on. Maybe they haven't, if you're in a relational, and I know Shanna's been so great and instrumental in helping a couple relational companies, really great traction in the United States, actually more than the United States. But you think about 64% of Americans have not had a date in 5 years. How many know there's a huge opportunity if you're in a relational business to be able to use that as a pain point and disrupt what people aren't getting? Because your access to the emotion that people buy is to disrupt what they're not getting and find a way through your ability, your heart, your service, your product to deliver that. That makes you very necessary. Come on. That makes you an asset, not a liability. That makes you worth listening to. We'll worry about the messaging later. We'll talk about the offer later. If you can disrupt what people are not getting, I gave you another statistic. 87% of all medical visits right now, according to the Mayo Clinic, nothing is physically wrong in the human body. They're all psychosomatic. Did you hear me, y'all? 87%. That means only 13% of people that are going to doctor's visits regularly, going to a hospital continually, have something medically wrong. And the industries that are providing all of this healthcare, they love it. They thrive on it. Why? Because they know it's built on a mentality. So people are afraid of being sick. They're scared. Well, if I have a solution for better health, taking charge of your immune system, how many know, some of you people that are even in direct sales companies or have nutraceutical companies, you become so much more valuable by having the courage to ask the hard question, as Kashana was talking about yesterday, disrupt people's thinking and challenge it and let them see what they're not getting. When you let people see what they're not getting, it makes you so necessary to them. And now you're in a place of influence where you have an opportunity to serve. How do you know that? List a little strategy that can make a huge difference. We used a strategy that we'll use with, we'll use a company I work with, Top Golf. We bought Top Golf, a $5 billion company. We bought it for $900 million a couple years ago during the middle of the pandemic because of cash flow problems. But we looked at a way to be able to do it. Like, okay, bank-wise, we can't. How many know your can'ts can silence your wants if you're not careful? Come on, how many things do you say I can't to? Maybe you don't say it out loud, but maybe you say it on the inside. Well, I can't because I don't have the money. I can't because I can't do that. Where is can't cursing you? Come on, and putting a lid on your potential to where you start saying, well, I can. Well, let's find a way. Let's make a way. Let's find a way. Let's make a way because we want to own this. We want to multiply it. We want to expand it. We want to bring soft goods in it. All of a sudden, we started looking at avenues of how to do that. Our strategy shifted from what we didn't have. See, if you're not careful, you'll become paralyzed by what you don't have. Don't let your business, your idea become paralyzed right now by what you don't have. Because if you focus on what's missing, you're going to start to feel like you're missing, that you're not enough. And that will produce enough fear that you won't challenge yourself to create something masterful and meaningful. Come on. Anybody with me in this thing? Come on, I see all these you feel that kind of an idea right there? But you start asking a different question of, well, how could we do it? How could we do it? It changed the game where we were able to acquire something and they came down in price all because we were willing to change our strategy to be able to maximize what we had available, what we could do. Let me shift your gears for a minute. Even on an idea for an offer, let's say you can change your offer and you can change your business. Someone say, change your offer, change your business. Write it down in the chat. Come on, change my offer, change my business. How do you say that's true? Well, if I look at Domino's Pizza, Domino's Pizza was going out of business some years ago, and they were at the point of financially, they were really running through all their money. They were in trouble. And there was a college, I believe it was actually UCLA, and they called to order pizzas at a fraternity party. And they go, hey, we're in a really, really bad pinch. We ordered from somebody else, and we order all the time, and they did not come through. We're having a big, party. All kinds of sororities are coming over. It's going to bomb if you don't show up. And the guy goes, hey, if I can get your service, I'll get it to you in 30 minutes or free. It blurted it out of his mouth before he didn't realize what he said. He'd never made that offer before. But in the moment where there was an urgency, someone write urgency. Come on. Someone's write urgency. Come on. When you're hungry, you want to eat. Come on. Do I have any hungry people on here today? Come on. Come on. If you got some hungry people, lift your hands in the air. Clap your hands. Come on, all you powerful people. Come on, watch this. He said, it'll be there in 30 minutes. He goes, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I made the offer, and then I said, I went to work. They made the offer, and they were able to deliver it in 29 minutes and a couple seconds. Come on. They got it there in the nick of time. It's amazing when you have an urgent goal, how it elicits a strength out of you, an energy out of you. Come on, a heart out of you. You become more creative when you got a real goal. In fact, just for a minute, what's one small decision or goal that you can make right now that would change the impact of your business immediately? Write it in the chat. What's one small decision right now that if you made a new decision, a small one that would really impact your business, what would it be? Write it in the chat right now. Write it in the chat. Look at all those things. Come on. More live videos. Come on. Start messy. Yeah, I like that. Yes, miracles are in things that are messy. Come on. Come on, speak to people about joy. I love it. Stay in business, more cold calls. Yes, because you know that 84% of conversions happen after the fourth call. But yet, come on, 90% of people quit before they make the fourth call. Come on, yes, I love that. Okay, and write in the chat too, what's one powerful decision? I'm going to juice this up a little bit. What are 3 major decisions that you could, by the end of the year, if you made them, your business will go to a new level if you committed and walked these decisions out? Not like I'd like to try, not all see, not all dabble, maybe I'll flirt with it. No. We're talking about full-on commitment, because reality's formed around what we commit to, not what we're interested in. But you make that commitment, and we take it from interest to action, intention to inception. And we made those 3 decisions. What decisions would change your business this year? Write them down. What are the 3 outputs, 3 decisions that could really change the quality of your business? Write it in the chat for a minute. Come on. Right. Let me see all these great people. Come on. 3 decisions that you would be able to be able to fulfill by the end of the year, that if you made these 3 decisions, you got a different business. Come on. You have a different business. You got a different clientele, people that you serve. You re-engage past customers. You've reawakened people to what you're doing, not what you did then. Come on. No history. Come on. Lesson. No reruns of yesterday, but what you're doing now. And to do that now, you got to be visible now. That's why I'm asking you to make a decision, because your business, come on, you're not closed for business. You're open for business. When you turn that power on, you flip that switch. And here are 3 decisions that would take my business to the next level. And I want to ask the question, what will it cost you if you don't make those decisions? Where will you be in 9 months? You're going to get there. But the question is, where will you be economically? Are you going to live at the mercy of your government? I hope you don't. Are you going to live at the mercy of what's going on around you and the 10% plus inflation? And they keep telling you it's 8%, it's about 11.2. Come on. Come on. I don't want to live at the mercy of that. I want to take advantage of it. And that's where you recognize God gave you something that doesn't matter anything around you. You don't got to participate in the recession if you got a plan. If you got a vision to move you, if you got a vision to move people, if you got a vision to serve people, to do more, be more, deliver more, make people enjoy more. Come on, that's what business is. It's giving people an experience where they want to have it again. How many ready to raise your standard a little bit? Raise the level in here. Come on. And come on, take your business and your outcome and your outputs to another level. I want you to think about it. Domino's changed their offer, and in a moment, their brand took off. They were not known for the best pizza. They were not known for the best breadsticks. They were not known for their health benefits. They became known for, it's going to be at your house, 30 minutes are free. We all ditched Pizza Hut, come on, lamppost pizza, other pizza scenarios, and we all started going to Domino's. Hey, how do you know? They changed their offer. Think about this for a minute. What would be a new strategic offer that would change your business if you offered it? And make it juicy. This is where our marketing team and my partnership with Shannon, she's brilliant at this, is being able to create something that will really be able to be a hook and that allows you to deliver what you want. Second, though, on business real quickly, and I'm going to shift gears, is I want to talk to you about your skill. Talent fails you if you don't get skilled. Let me write that down for a minute. Talent will fail you if you don't get skilled. Ooh. True. Do you know that they did a study out of Harvard and they surveyed $159 billion was spent on development of skills within companies all across the world. And do you know that they put all this money, all these companies put money into investing in their employees, people that work for them, and they found that only 12% reported back to doing anything with it and developing any type of skill. People rest on their laurels. Talent may have got you where you are, but I want to challenge you to become skilled. The proverb of the Bible, it's a great proverb, Proverbs 22:29. You ought to get this in you. Even if you don't read the Bible, you ought to read this part. A skilled man or woman will stand before kings and not obscure people. Ooh, a skilled person. A skill just doesn't happen. It's deliberate. It's intentional. And sometimes you have to start building it right where you are. In fact, I want you to think for a minute, what's one skill that would immediately change and enhance how much value you brought to the marketplace, because people pay for value. Come on. They pay for value. They pay for outcome. What's one skill that would enhance your business? Write it in the chat right now. What's one skill? Is that communicating? Is it owning your stage? Is it your ability to influence? Is it a technical knowledge? Is it a way to communicate a business structure, a banking structure, a financial structure, help people out of debt? Come on. What's one skill that if you really sharpened it this year, come on, where you put it to use, you sharpened it. You sharpened it in an atmosphere, an environment with coaches, and you also sharpened it because you were willing to practice. Come on, you were practicing. It would take your business to the next level. I had 1 degree of success to about 2006. And I remember I felt like a dream and a God idea in my heart, not a good idea, a God idea in my heart. And Rex, I really want to expand your reach, but your acumen and the way you communicate only services a certain demographic of people. And in my mind, I thought, but that's all I know. That's how I know how to deliver. That's how to communicate and connect with them. But I thought, if I'm ever going to step into the more and scale into the more, I had to be willing to become more. That doesn't mean I abandon everything else. I'm just willing to sharpen and take on new tools. I actually went to a mentor and I began to study different things. And then in the nighttime, I would go and I'd practice communicating new things in different ways. What I did not know is that happened and I committed myself. When no one else saw it, I was working on it. Come on, not everyone's going to be there and you're, oh, I just want it to happen. I just want it just to be a lucky moment. Somebody notices me. This is an American Idol. Come on, somebody. Paula Abdul's my buddy. This ain't no freaking American Idol. She might be on today. You never know. She might be here this day. Come on. This ain't no freaking American Idol. This ain't The Voice. Come on. Where we decide to see what, no. You go to work and what you do in the dark gets rewarded in the light. Many of us are waiting for perfect conditions to get skilled. But when you get skilled, you increase your value. I began to work on that and I had an invitation come. Hey, Rex, would you come speak here? In fact, a speaker, very well-known ambassador of a country in the world, did not show up and I was in the room. And they said, can you take the stage with 7,000 people to communicate certain concepts of business? And I thought, oh my goodness, here's where it meets the road. I'm nervous, but hey, I've been in the lab. I've been working on this thing. I've been sharpening on this thing. I've been doing something with this thing. Here's the opportunity. The opportunity met the preparation. Anybody willing to prepare to develop a skill in the next 3 months? Come on. And think about the ways you could begin to sharpen that skill. A friend of mine, he's a CEO of a Fortune 5 company, and he's actually was living here in San Diego up the road. And he said, Rex, he goes, I was broke, I was poor, I was addicted to cocaine. He goes, I got arrested 3 times in a month. And I bailed myself out of jail because I memorized my numbers on my credit card. He goes, I was really, really struggling and I was broke. I lost all my money. And he goes, I had an opportunity to be a part of a nutraceutical company. And they gave me an opportunity to go speak for the company. It was 8 months away and it was in Japan. He goes, Rex, he goes, I'm white. I'm from Idaho and from a potato country. He goes, I'm a little bit country. He goes, I don't know how to communicate to people in Japan. He says, I took it with the idea that I'd have an interpreter. And he goes, as I started to think about it, he thought, man, I'm going to leave my future in so many other people's hands to communicate my ideas. He said, I need to skill myself to become more valuable. He hired a coach to help him learn Japanese. He taught himself over 6.5 months. He said it was not fun. It was not enjoyable, but he was committed to where he was going. Don't let what's in front of you stop what you want to get to. Don't get caught in the immediate that you lose sight of the ultimate. Come on, somebody write the ultimate in the chat right there. This is good teaching. Come on, I'm going to get my own teaching here. This is really good. How many feel some good? You're feeling it on the other end. Yes, the ultimate. He did something immediately. He said, I'm going to focus on this and work through the feelings I don't want to. Is it really going to work? What if I fail? All those ideas. He skilled himself for 6.5 months. He got up to that stage. He was tempted to call upon the interpreter, but he got on that stage and he said, nope. He said, I prepared for this moment. Some of you are going to go from waiting on this thing and working on it to you're about to start walking in it. I want us to declare that over some of these businesses in here, some of these people that are in here. You're going to go from like waiting on something to happen to walking into something to happen because you're going to do the work and prepare and work your land. Come on. The proverb says if you work your land, you will have an abundance. Not might have an abundance. Come on, work it. Let me work it. Let me work it. Come on, I think that was a song back in the day, Missy Elliott. It's a little bit of, I don't know why I should be singing that song, but whatever. And I can't sing the rest of it, Shannon, so don't make fun of me. You and your aura ring, whatever. Just because you get better sleep than me, you think you can make fun of me right here. How many of you love Shannon Sumter? Write Shannon Sumter in the chat. Come on. I love her. She makes me better. She makes me better. But my friend got up there and he delivered a 27-minute speech in perfect Japanese. That one speech for 6.5 months of getting skilled made him $10 million in one speech.
Yes!
There was a convergence, time, energy, investment, and it shifted into transforming the quality of his business. How many know one skill can change the dynamic of how you show up and how you deliver, and it changes your whole game because your gift will make room for you. Someone, come on, anybody with me on that kind of an idea? I'm a little bit short on time today, but I want to do this for a minute. I want to shift gears here real quickly, and I want to go to your emotional state for a minute. I want to shift from business for a minute just to go to your emotional state. Why do you want to say that for a minute? Because there's a season of opportunity, and you could get excited about the strategy. You could get excited about the insight. You get excited about the opportunity that's before you and what you have in your hand that will create something in your future. But you become a forward person, maybe stuck on backward thoughts. You might have the right idea, but you're losing on the inside. You're losing in your thought life. You're losing in your emotional life. And on the inside, your home is, your thoughts, feelings, and emotional. They keep you in a really negative and tough spot. You don't show up with strength. Whether you act bad or brilliant, it's not based on your strategy, but the state that you show up in. How many know that's true? Abraham Lincoln said people are as happy as they make up their minds to be. I want you to think about this for a moment. And I'm going to be a little quick today, and I could go a little bit deeper tomorrow and help you on these ideas to unhook you and help you shift things in your mind. But I want you to think a little bit, and I'll go this path for a minute. You ever see people after, like, they go through tornadoes or hurricanes? A friend of mine, she's the manager of Beyonce and a bunch of people. And she called me during the hurricane in Florida a couple months ago. She goes, my car went swimming down the road. She goes, I lost my car. I was threatening. I was scared. She asked me to pray. We were talking about it. And then in part of me, like you have your compassion, like, oh my gosh, all these people have to rebuild their home. And then every 3 or 4 years, what happens? Another one shows up. And then you're like, have you ever had that happen? You're watching the news and like after watching 3 or 4, you're like, man, my heart goes out in compassion to these people, but Shouldn't they move to another location? Like, why don't they move? Why do they stay in tornado land? Why do they stay in hurricane land? Why? Because that is home. Because they're used to it. It's familiar there. They know it's always going to have this cycle, but they're willing to put up with the cycle because they're used to it. Nothing changes in their experience because nothing changes in their mind. As a person thinks, so do they become, and your outlook determines your outcome. Yes, it's cliche-ish, but it's very true. Your thoughts determine your generosity of time, your energy, your resources. In fact, if we looked at your successes and your failures, and we looked at how you thought about them going into them and even after them, probably shows me a lot about where you spend most of your time emotionally. If you have $1 billion, but you're pissed off, angry, and sad and depressed, is your life wealthy or are you poor? If you got 3 beautiful children, maybe a husband that loves you and adores you, thinks you're the sexiest thing that walked on the planet, even if you constantly criticize yourselves and tell them what you're not. And please do us a favor, women, come on. As a man, don't tell us how unattractive you are. We're giving our life to you. Please don't put yourself down in our eyes. We want you. That's why we keep showing up. We don't have to. We freaking want you. And come on, men, stop putting yourself down in your woman's eyes. Come on, talk strong about yourself and your life and your relationship and where you want to go. Come on, the state you show up is the state of your relationship. It's the state of your union. That's powerful for a minute. You think about it. I want you to think about this, and we'll do this real quickly before we end today as a metaphor, real fast, and we'll go on. And we'll come back circle tomorrow. Life is what for you? What do you believe life is? Your belief about what life is determines your generosity of time, talent, energy, how you engage, how you show up. How you determine what kind of home you live on the inside. And whether it happens on the inside gets up on the outside. How many know it's true? If you believe life is a race, you're going to value movement and rushing all the time. Speed. Okay, I gotta be. You ever see these people that walk into like coffee shops and they're like, they don't even focus. They're just so fast. I gotta get coffee. I gotta go somewhere. I gotta do something. You're like, oh my gosh, that's not you. You're much more intentional. That's so funny. Okay? But if that, then life's always busy.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not necessarily productive, it's just busy. Maybe tomorrow we can even talk about measuring impact versus measuring just busyness.
That's good.
You need to mind your business, your busyness. Come on, somebody. All things are profitable. Not all things are profitable. Some things are not profitable. I need to know what to eliminate. Wisdom is what to ignore. In fact, the more you know what to ignore, the more you can conserve your energy and effort for what matters most. If you're caught in a speed trap, you're going to get a ticket and probably crash. If life is a dance, come on, you value, just floating. Oh my gosh, life's a dance. Okay? If life is, watch, a battle, you're looking for a fight. If you believe life's a battle, you demonize everyone. You're looking for what's wrong. You're looking for who doesn't agree with you, who doesn't validate your beliefs and opinions. Come on, we've got 8 billion people on the planet. Not everyone's going to believe the same way as you. Come on. Wisdom and love, can believe the best about a person. And if I want to influence you, I can't judge you. The moment I judge you, I can't influence you. Come on, you business owners. If you judge your clients, you judge them based on the past. How are you going to influence them in the present? You won't influence them because you have judgments in your mind that hold you back. Come on, you with me on this thing? Watch. What if life became an incredible gift this year? A special gift. It's a gift. You got 1 million people died in the last 6 days. You're still here. If you got 12 American dollars to your name, you're in the top 88 richest people in the world. If you got a roof over your head of some kind, you're in the top 25% of the people of the world. You got a lot to be grateful for. Let me shift here. People are they treasure trash? The way you view them will determine your engagement with them. If you believe they're going to take advantage of you, you're going to show up sheepish, shy, skittish, and not offer the best part of yourself. If you believe you'll be rejected because you were rejected in the past, and we need to hook on people today, a U-turn from rejection to a right direction. Come on. You're going to direct your mind. I'm trying to give you a little idea how you can direct your mind fast. I'm over time. But if you don't direct your mind, it's going to be directed by fear. And fear, come on, all noble things die when fear takes over. All noble dreams die when fear takes over. All love takes, watch, when fear takes over, love stops. Passion stops. Selfishness stops. Passion goes. Come on, I want to help you reclaim you. Anybody in this thing with me? Come on for a minute. But if I see people as valuable, the most valuable resource, then it doesn't matter your color, your background, where you've been. There's something inside you that's special. God put you here. And I realize this. My friend John Maxwell says this. Put a 10 on everybody's head. If you'll believe it, there's a 10 on their head rather than a 2, and treat them like a 10, you'll get a 10 out of them. You tell a kid they're a champion, they'll rise to the level of your confession. You tell them they're excellent. You tell them they're brilliant. You tell them they're a world shaker, a history maker. You tell them that they're going to do big things. The Bible says your kids will be mighty in the land, not weak in the land. Come on. And if we've been handed down weakness by our parents, let's break the cycle and step up as moms and dads and uncles and aunts and grandpa and grandmas. Come on, let's tell our grandkids, our nephews, our niños, our niñas. Come on, let's tell them how powerful they are. And finally, I am. Whatever follows your I am, the belief of who you are, you give an invitation to your life. You say, I'm unattractive. I'm unlovable. I'm hurting. I'm poor. I'm lacking. What constantly follows your I am, you're giving an invitation to your life. Do you really want all those things that you've been saying about yourself to come to pass? 86% of all your emotional state comes from the words you're constantly saying. What if there was a new name for you today? Sir Edward, he read his obituary and it was a false one. He was still alive. They meant to talk about his brother. And he said that he was known for devastation because he created dynamite. And then he goes, I don't want to be known for that. I want to be known for something different. So he said that day, I'm going to be Sir Edward Noble. How do you get the new Nobel Peace Prize? Because one person that was known for destruction now became known for peace. And he changed from pain to peace, and he added a new definition for who he would be. And that new belief that he adopted, what's one belief that would open you up more? What's one belief that would allow you to be an owner rather than an operator? What's one belief that's calling to you right now, right in the chat? What's one belief? I'm enough. I'm lovable. I'm worthy. I'm abundant, not po. Come on, somebody. Come on. Poverty's not a circumstance. It's a mindset. Poverty's not a circumstance. It's just a mindset. Come on. If you adopted a new belief about how you are, how would that open up your world? And I end with this idea today. There's a man by the name of Glenn Cunningham, and he was burned, and his brother died in a big explosion of fire. And he was left in a wheelchair. He was a young man, and his mother would bring him out in a wheelchair every day out in the middle of Kansas and pull him outside so he could get some vitamin D in the sun. He would sit there day after day and look at the white fence that he had on the side of their house and wonder, why did this have to happen to me? I can't use my legs. I can't walk. The doctor said it would never work. He had many, many surgeries to cut time. But he said one day he felt in his heart as he's looking at the fence, I'm tired of looking at the fence. I'm tired of looking at something beautiful. I want to stand in something beautiful. The mother told him, your legs don't work. But he said, my legs might not work on the outside, but I got enough strength and urgency to do something on the inside. He leaped from his seat in a moment of urgency. He left his wheelchair and he grabbed onto the fence. And his mother said, what are you doing? And he began to hold himself up on the fence, and he would do a couple different pulls with his arms, and he would fall down. Day in and day out, his mother would bring him outside. He would do the same thing. Finally, he got to the place where he put his legs down, and he could stand on the side of the fence because he wasn't content just to touch the fence. Maybe you're not content just to touch life, touch relationships, touch your business, just to touch it. You want to transform it. Come on. You want to transform people. All of a sudden, he said, when I started to stand, my legs hurt. So he said, I started to take steps. And he found that he could run. The only time his legs never hurt was when he would run. That gentleman is now known as the Kansas Flyer. If you ever go study him out, he won over 26 gold medals. In fact, he was in New York in Madison Square Garden. He won 13 different events, all because one man on the inside said, I'm more than I'm living on the outside. I'm going to jump up in a moment of urgency. Let this be a moment. What does it cost you if you don't take action now? What does it cost you if you don't get off your assets and step and take a stand and then take a step? What's it going to cost your business? What's it going to cost your clients, your customers? And you say, why do you talk so passionately? Because passionate people are the source of change. I don't want to just fire you up. I want to have strategy so you do it intelligently, but at the same time, the Bible says, be fervent in spirit and fervent in business. when you're doing things. Let this be a time you become an investor, and let's close the gap. Your miracle is in motion. Come on. There's a lot of people that are starving for what you have. How many of you are ready to raise the roof? How many are ready to jump out of the chair that you've been in? Come on. Anybody feeling this on the other side? Anybody feel some chains breaking off your brain today? Come on and break through. Come on. God bless you all. Come on, Shannon, come on up here for a minute.
All right. Hey, you guys are going to move, bring the camera over here. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, so I wrote this down. First and foremost, I want to ask you, can you guys flip this over? Great. I want to ask you guys something. Where in your life right now are you living in the dark? Where are you in your life right now living in the dark? I'm going to pull this up for a second. VIP Inner Circle, I'm going to come to you in 2 seconds, okay? Where in your life right now are you living in the dark? Ask yourself, do this right now with me, because you got to do some homework. You got to take this. He can't just fire you up and you don't go do something. Remember what I said at the beginning? I said, when I listened to Rex, I set an intention. Do you remember what that intention was? Right? Do you remember what that was? Every time he was saying, like, speak to your children, speak to your nieces, nephews, I thought to myself, speak to your freaking spouse, speak to the people that you love, speak to like your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, like speak to that person. Imagine if you actually stopped seeing them as late and broken and lazy and you should be doing more. Like, imagine if you just reset that right now, if you would just allow yourself to flip the switch in the way that you thought about them, that they could rise, right? Rex said to me, he said, there's people right now sitting in the dark. I want you to write down where you're sitting in the dark. Just jot it down. Put it in the chat right now so I can see you. Are you sitting in the dark with your time? You guys, you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, my schedule's a mess. Oh my gosh, my relationship's a mess. I actually started writing this down because Rex was like opening me up before we got going. It's like, are people seeing in the dark in their finances? Are you seeing in the dark in your life, in your love life? Are you seeing in the dark with yourself? Are you seeing in the dark thinking that you know God, but you can't figure out why does the rug keep getting pulled out from underneath me? That's a definition of not knowing your authority. Somebody messaged me just again this today while I was sitting over there on Instagram. Shanda, what do you do when you have a spiritual attack on your life? I feel like my husband and I have a spiritual attack in my life. I'm like, sweetheart, I've been telling you for 4 freaking years what to do. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're just not hearing it. How many of you guys know you're not hearing it? Right? You're not hearing it. It's like the answer's been there for a while. There's been somebody in your life that's been talking to you, but you're not taking the advice because you're offended. Right? You're in a spirit of offense versus just receiving. Somebody said to me, what do you do with AI, artificial intelligence? I'm worried about the robots. I was like, don't worry about it. Just step up. She's like, what do you mean step up? I'm like, innovate. Innovate. Like, it's just, you're getting better. You're not getting worse. You're getting better. Right? That's learning how to flip that switch. So I wrote down in the dark, where are you triggered easily? Where are you triggered easily right now? Write that down. Be honest. Like, expose yourself. If you expose it into the light, then what happens? You've got no more shame and guilt around it. So if you got no shame and guilt around it, you're good. True story. I was doing an event, and Trisha, Suzanne, like some of the people on our team were doing a huge event. My parents are sitting in the audience. Okay. I forgot they were sitting in the audience. I'm doing this thing where I'm teaching somebody, how do you take your story, which the area that you sat in the dark or are sitting in the dark, right? This is a constant edge game. You got to we're all moving out of some area of dark and moving into the light, right? And so I'm telling this story, and I said to the person, I said, it was a messaging question, like, how do you create a movement and stop marketing? Who would like to create a movement and stop marketing, right? Marketing's amazing, but the people who really get free movement, they're not afraid of talking about hot topics that are happening right now. They're not avoiding the transgender movement because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get beat up, or I don't think it's anybody's business. No, that's the wrong understanding of marketing. You should be jumping on that. You know what I mean? Because it's a topic the world is leading. If you say, oh, it's none of my business, you don't understand marketing. Right? But you take marketing, you move it to a movement, and we take marketing, move it into a movement. You have to go to that dark space, and it's the moment that you had the aha. It's the moment you got the aha. So I'm standing on the stage. Imagine this. My parents are in the room. I'm having this moment, and I go to this guy, and he's like, you know, I want to help men, and they got this trauma. It's all general. It's all in sales still. Like, sales is easy when marketing's in check. Okay, relationships are easy when you understand marketing and sales. They really get so much, parenting gets so much easier. Like this is leadership. It's applicable everywhere. So I'm trying to get this guy to go the dark moment. Go to the dark side and tell me the moment. And he wouldn't go there. I said, where were you the day? I said, why did you start your business? He goes, I was raped. Dark. I go, where were you the day? What room? Bring me into the room that you were in when you decided you're not going to live there anymore. What was that moment? What was that moment? This is where transformation happens. So you guys are trying to be great, trying to be good, trying to be like, the best, trying to be like Tony Robbins, trying to be like Grant Cardone, trying to be like Rex Crane. You can never be that. So you got to go into the dark moment in the room when you made a decision that things were going to change. That's the aha. This is why people listen to you. This is how you create a movement. This is how you go from marketing messaging to a movement, and it evolves. Over here is where you flip the switch. This is where people listen to you. This is where you have authority. If you don't have authority and you still make your story wrong, and by the way, some of you guys are making other people's stories wrong, and you don't realize that the power comes out of the dark. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I am not listening to somebody who tells me their life was fantastic their whole life. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're a big risk. You're a huge risk because I don't know how you show up. Do you know how to do this? I would be willing to bet there's a lot of people on this line right now that knows how to do this. You have a story. Who has a story? Put story in the chat. Like really a story. You have one that maybe you felt guilty about, shameful. Maybe you don't even want to say it because people in your family will get mad. And some of you guys, there will be people that you have a story from dark to light in your own family, your sister, your brother, your mother, because they're like, why would you ever share that story? I don't have it wired like that. But the truth is that's your story. And if you don't have the boldness or the courage to do it and walk through it, then what happens is you never get your power. Because everybody else will have it. You guys follow me here right now? So I say to this man, I say, bring me in the room. This is where he said no. This is like the story that you told me about how you had two blind women come into the auditorium. And one said, pray for me, Rex, pray for me. And you prayed and she started to see like little glimmers. She started to see like little, like fuzzy light. And then Rex went, so what happened? She's like, I saw some little light. I saw a little bit, but like, I could do better, Rex. I could do better. What is that? Owning her responsibility. That's like, I'm having an aha moment. I saw some glimmer. It was here, but I haven't had the breakthrough yet. And so she said, pray for me again. Pray for me again. So he goes over, he starts praying for her again. And Rex's friend was standing right there. And so he starts to pray for her again. And all of a sudden she owns it. She owns the revelation. She owns the new story of herself. She owns that she steps right into the miracle and she, boom, gets her eyesight back. This is wild. This is wild what I'm about to tell you next. Some of you guys are fighting and resisting the changes that are happening in the world right now because you like the way things used to be. So she goes to her friend and she says, this stuff is real. This stuff is real. Like there really is a God, and his name is not universe. There really is a God who created the universe. You can live watered down, safe, use all the language you want that has nobody really look at you and have you adopted by the whole world as comfortable. Or you can break out and you can get your power and you can be unliked by some, but absolutely loved by others. If you want to create a movement, you have to flip a switch of courage where you get your power and you're willing to talk about boldly what it is that you believe. So she goes back to her friend and says, it's real. God's real. And she goes, let him pray for you. She says, no. I don't want to be prayed for. And Rex escorted both of them out of the auditorium, and one had the walker and the other one walked out with her vision. I want to ask you right now, what are you choosing? What are you choosing? Are you choosing to live in a life that is frustrated, that is time constrained, that is money constrained, that is everything that you know you were not meant to be? Do you want to live that way in normal, in middle class, in all of the struggles of balance and all of that? Or do you want to be turned on? If you want to be turned on, I see you right now. If you want to be turned on, here's what I want to share with you. I asked Rex to open up something that has no upsells, no downsells, no anything. It actually gives you lifetime access to Rex, like I have as my friend. It's called Flip the Switch, and I want to share something with you right now. This is an opportunity for you to have Rex in your life for the rest of your life. For as long as he decides to do this, as long as you keep showing up and playing this game of like every time you go to a new level. When I was single, I had some dark moments. I had some empty moments of not having the love of my life in my life. Then I had an aha moment that I was going to miss the opportunity. What are you going to miss right now if you don't step up? Because that's a powerful urgency piece that if you don't get connected with it, you will water down. I said, I'm going to miss the opportunity to have babies if I don't find my husband. So I started dating five times a week. Let me tell you something. I couldn't get 5 dates in a year. I got help. So I started dating 5 times a week. I met my husband. I moved into the light. My power was on. The problem is there was a new version of myself. It's like new level, new devil, right? And any of you guys who went from single to married, you realize that's a whole nother playing field. And then you have children and it's a whole nother playing field. So the concept of flip the switch is to take you into multiple different pillars of your life and turn the lights on. But as the lights go on, you're going to elevate. Like as my company, as I went from a single entrepreneur to my first $1 million, guess what? At $1 million, you become less profitable. A lot of people back down and say, oh, it's about profits. I need to have profits. No, it's about vision. It's about going further. At $1 million, you make less money than $600,000 income. But at 3 million, you make more than at $1 million and 600,000. At 10 to 12 million, it starts to get a little complicated. At 15 million, it takes some real counsel to be able to grow. I don't know how many of you guys know that you're on the trajectory of that. You're creating a movement. You're not just marketing. You're creating a legacy with your family. You're not just creating a relationship. You're actually changing things so that you can change the caliber. As the world changes right now, you know you're supposed to be on the cutting edge. And you probably even know, if you're watching this, that you are actually the leader that the family is relying on. Am I right or am I right? Yes or no? You actually know that you are the one that your family's relying on, and there's nobody else but you to be able to do this. That is a real blessing. That is a real blessing from above, that you have been granted that knowing and that wisdom to go. So that's why Flip the Switch is here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Flip the Switch. Number one is that Rex is going to do an intensive on February 21st and 22nd. Now, what that means for you is he's going to do a 2-day virtual intensive. So he's going to go through all the modules of Flip the Switch and train it to you, because we are not going to leave you to do a home study program by yourself. Most people don't do it and they don't finish it. So he's actually going to lead you on this. This was something that he developed over the last few years. He's been speaking about it, but nobody gets a course on it. So he's going to take this course and he's going to deliver it for you in 2 days virtually, 21st and 22nd of February. Here's what's wild. He's going to do this course twice a year. You're going to have lifetime access to it. So the vision is that you keep taking yourself to that next level in your relationship, in your career, in your business, all of that, so that as you go those new levels, he's going to take you to the next level. Because you know what happens is people stop. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, Vicky, right? You're lit up. I can see you right there. People stop. And when they stop, what happens is you make that right and you're stuck. You can't stop and get stuck. You got to go. In a year of such fluidity of things moving, this is really powerful and really timely. Now, what if you're in other programs, products, or services? This is not a business program. Okay, this is whatever it is that you're touching. This is turning the freaking power on, right? This is, I'm not confident or I'm not sure. No. You don't know your authority. That's the challenge. And if you don't know your authority, or you're getting caught up in identity breakdowns, then what happens is you don't know who you are in your marriage, who you are in your relationship, who you are as a career person. I said to Rex, I said, that's actually such a small game, because you need to know who you are in the global economy. And that's my vision for you, is to know who you are in the global economy. You know why? Because that's when movements happen. That's when movements happens. When you can figure out, who am I? Who's Shanda Sumter in the world? I think I'm crazy enough I can actually move enough people from the middle class to the right neighborhoods, to the right dinner tables, so that they're going to move more people. And I actually believe that hardcore business can make that shift. But I know for a fact that there is absolutely no way people do it fast enough with understanding their authority. So he's going to take you through a 2-day intensive, February 21st, 22nd. He's going to do it twice a year for 4 or 5 years. I don't know how long he's going to do it for, right? He's going to keep going, and you're going to get access to it forever without being said, hey, Vicky, do you want to pay a little bit more? Do you want another? And I have no problem with upsell, downsells, but I'm telling you, there is none here. This is just a straight, you're with Rex, you get the same experience that I have, where you're able to connect. I once had a bunch of my clients go work with Rex to learn how to speak. How do you speak from a stage like that, right? And he worked with them, and they all went, do you get what I'm saying? So every now and then I can bring someone like Rex Crane or a Jesse Itzler and create a boutique experience for people. That's this moment. That's this moment. So you're going to do a 2-day intensive. Obviously, he's going to put you in a Facebook group, but here's what Rex does in a Facebook group. He brings his friends. You know, some of the people he's mentioned. So we can't guarantee that Paul Abdul or the CEO of Callaway Golf, we can't guarantee those people are going to come. But I will tell you, it was shocking to see who came when he showed some of our clients how to speak. So he's going to bring his network of friends. They're going to come into the Facebook group, and you're going to have boutique experiences learning, how do you create movements? How do you flip the switch in your relationships? How do you turn yourself on so that as you're going through this year, next year, the year after, you're on? Who's excited about this? Put me in the chat, right? Who's excited about this? I want to see if you're like, I am excited about this. So the Facebook group isn't like anybody else's Facebook group where somebody's just gonna go live for 10 minutes here and there just to keep it engaged. That's the shit that happens behind closed doors, y'all. This is Rex wants to go live as much as he can to be able to help you continue to rise up. In addition, every single month, Rex is gonna do a live training call with you, live with Rex. This is gonna happen 1 time a month. Okay, so I will tell you, Rex is like, I'm gonna do this 4 times a month. I'm like, you're crazy. Because I know you, and as you start to bring your friends in, it's easier for him to go live in the group, because what if he's sitting with somebody powerful? Like you only heard a slight, not trying to name drop at all, but you just connect with some of the most insane people. And the conversations that happen behind closed doors, but they never happen on the front. They don't happen in the church. They don't happen in an auditorium. They don't happen anywhere. But the friends in Rex's life get access to a lot of that learning and advancement. Like, I'm talking people radically getting healed. Like, you know, the areas in your life that you think something is impossible, like imagine knowing your authority and that moving. So the Facebook group is where he's going to bring that, but every month he's going to do a call where he's going to teach some, and then he's going to open up and do words of knowledge, prophecy, all of that type of stuff. Is this powerful, you guys? Yes. So in addition, I told you you're going to have unlimited access. You're probably like, Shannon, just tell me what it costs. I can already feel you. Unlimited access to all future events, and as well as any additional trainings that he does with our company or anybody else. We're going to front load it up into the group to give you access. So basically, you get Rex's experience in life in your life, and you get access to him, which is really hot. We are going to do a secret event. And what that means is he used to do these a long time ago and they exploded. And what happened is you have some wild people who start to come to this, right? You have some pro athletes that can start to come to this. You have some wild things that start to happen, where he used to do these secret, they weren't like secret, like they were trying to make it secret, but he would get called to come to these events, and just wild things would happen. And only if you were in the know. It's kind of like, have you guys ever heard of like like secret door. London has this a lot. There's these invite only opportunities that you would walk by every day and not know that people are getting ahead in these private groups. It's kind of like that. So he's going to do some pocket events, but we promise that you'll have access to one of them every year. And then in addition, he's going to start letting you guys all know what city he's in so that he can actually meet you when he's in certain cities and help get you into some of the places that he speaks at. Is that cool? Yes or no? Yes? So you'll have a secret event, which is basically to be determined. And it will only be for this small group of people and some of the hot list people that might want to come that are part of his community already. Got it? Yes? Okay. So I want to know, I'm going to take a poll. What do you guys think the administration to be able to come to this course is? Lifetime access, pay once, never pay again. Come on, let me see. Go in the chat and let me know. What do you guys think? $10,000, $997. $997 is like the number, right? $9,000, $10,000, $5,000. Free. It's not free, Alicia. People don't pay attention if it's free. I'll give you a great example. 14,000 people registered for this in 10 days. And I think 300 are in VIP, 160 are showed up in VIP. People don't pay if they don't pay attention. So it's taken an entire probably year of me talking to you about how do we bottle you up and give people access. And it just wasn't his model and has not been his model. And so now you have an opportunity to live with Rex. That's what we should call it, live with Rex, right? But it's called Flip with Rex, flip the switch, flipwithrex.com is the URL. Here's how much it is. $2,300, one time only, you have lifetime access. $2,300, you have lifetime access to Rex. You can come to the 2 intensives a year. You can come to the secret undisclosed event live every year. You'll get access to him if he's in your city. You'll get a once a month call with him where he goes live with you and does words of knowledge and prophecy. I will tell you, he's done many of those over our company and over our life. And it's off the charts to watch it happen on the date and this, that, and the other, right? So you'll get all of that type of education, but not just from Rex. He's going to show you how to live that way. He's not interested in you getting your power from a book or your power from him or your power from, a preacher or your power from a celebrity or a guru. He's interested in you flipping your own switch so that as you go to these next levels, you know how to stay out of fear and stay in faith. And it's going to be a year riddled in fear. And imagine being able to take whatever's in the dark and move it right into the light. So if you go to flipwithrex.com, FLIP, so flip it, flipwithrex.com, you can get access to the page. Now here's what I'm going to do. Anybody who jumps in the next 20 minutes, I am going to do a complete marketing workshop with you around how to get ahead of artificial intelligence in your business. Okay, I'm going to do, anybody who jumps in the next 20 minutes, I will do an entire workshop around how to use artificial intelligence to be able to get ahead. What I want you to hear on that is profits. I need you to have more money in your pocket this year so that you can multiply it in different investments. In addition, if you do the $2,300 and you don't need me to do a payment plan for you, because there is a payment plan on there, you can either do 6 payments of $500. You do 6 payments of $500, which means that I'm your bank. I'm financing you. But if you do the $2,300 and I don't have to finance you, we're going to add a one-on-one private marketing call with you to help you lay out your marketing plan on a private one-on-one. We heard that in VIP Inner Circle over and over and over again. You guys who are in VIP, look at how much of a voice you have. It was you that had us put that in yesterday. It was you. And that's the power of a small community of people using their voice and standing up. And they kept asking for what they wanted and what they need. And we said, you know what? Let's throw that in. So if you go to flipwithrex.com, you'll get a one-on-one marketing session, a one-on-one marketing call session on the $2,300. If you need me to be your bank, you are not getting a one-on-one private marketing session. I'm sorry, I'm already financing it. I'm not looking to go backwards. You hear what I'm saying? So either you do $2,300 to get a one-on-one marketing call, or you do 6 payments of $500, flipwithrex.com. And here's what I want to share with you. 100%, there are more millionaires that are going to be created this year than ever before. There's going to be people who go from 7 figures to go to $10 million. It's not an income plan. There are going to be people who go from Tony Robbins level to $1 billion status. There's going to be people who go from startup to 7 figures. And so this is not an income claim. I'm just saying, what side of the tracks do you want to be on? What side of the tracks do you want to be on? Anybody who jumps in the next 20 minutes, I'll lay out a marketing plan for you. Only for you guys, not for all the rest of our clients, just for the Flip the Switch community. Okay, so it'll be a small group of you guys. So go to flipwithrex.com. VIP, I'm going to jump on with you guys. Anybody who's debating, process quicker. Because when that 20-minute bonus goes away, everybody who's been around our community knows I never make the same offer twice. So much love for you guys. Tomorrow we'll come back. We'll stream at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got 2 more days left to finish off this week. I'm going to remind you to take the target that you started this week with and ask yourself, are you working on it today? Are you moving it forward? Are you using these trainings to look at where are the conversations that you need to have a U-turn in? Are you applying it? If not, I guarantee you're just not tracking it. Put it up on the wall. When I'm filling an event, let's say a zone event, which is going to be in August in Florida, when we put an event up and I put 2,000 people in the room or 4,000 people in the room, I'm not kidding you. I track 2, 5, 10. You getting it? You always start far away from your biggest goals. But in a couple months, it's 2001, 2,500, 3,000. What happens? We get more urgent. We flip our switch. We grab our power. We get on top of our authority, and we don't make watered down decisions. So for you guys, finish this week strong with us. We got tomorrow and we got Friday. We're going to go strong. We're going to help you cross the finish line, but you need to set your target. It needs to be up on the wall. If you're joining us in the Flip the Switch community, welcome. I'm excited for you because I know what it's like being in relationship with Rex, and I know that he only over delivers. So go to flipwithrex.com and I'll see you.